When it comes to planning every single one of my new journal setups, I want to make sure that I include everything I'm going to need, I don't leave out anything that's important, and I'm really setting myself up for success. That means that every single time I do it, I fill out one of these pages, or what I call the want analysis. The structure of this layout is really just designed to help me organize my thoughts and feels so that I can use those moving forward to design my best setup yet. When it comes to setting up a new journal, I like to use my current or previous ones to inform my practice, so that I avoid getting distracted by shiny object syndrome and just the potential newness and the excitement that comes with that. I like to take a flip back through my previous journals, whether they be the one that I'm currently using or maybe a couple before them, just to consider what has worked well for me and what hasn't. In terms of the want analysis though, want actually stands for wins, aversions, needs, and try. Within each of these sections, I'm asking myself a series of questions to do a really thorough job considering what is or isn't working for me, and then I can use that information to make informed decisions. If you want to do this in preparation for setting up your new journal, grab out a piece of paper and let's have a look. The first section is wins, or what's working really nicely in your journal. This is stuff that you've set up that you find yourself coming back to, actually filling in. It's helping your journal or planner fulfill the purpose that you gave it. If you're using a pre-printed planner, this could be considering the sections that you are consistently filling in, the structures that are working really nicely with the way you like to plan, and the stuff that incentivizes you to keep coming back and using the system. If you've been setting up your layouts yourself though, this can be considering which ones you want to keep setting up, which ones are worth the time, effort, and energy you put into making because you are still getting something out of them. I like to consider my wins in 3 different areas: layouts, practice, and supplies. For the layouts, these are the things that are pre-printed into your journal that work really well for you. For the practice, this is about your own personal routines and habits surrounding your planner. And for supplies, this is about the materials themselves. In the win section though, we're just writing down all of the positive stuff. What's working? What do we like? What do we want to keep going with or do more of? Then we get to aversions, and this is effectively the opposite. When considering aversions, we're thinking about the stuff that hasn't been working for us. Maybe we didn't like it, maybe we assigned a particular purpose to a layout and it hasn't really been working. The purpose isn't being fulfilled in the way that we hoped it would. This is also where I'll consider things that I want to stop doing because I'm just finding them to be pointless or time wasters, whether that be stop doing in the sense of routines or habits around my planning, or stuff that I've been setting up in my journal that I just don't think is worth the energy I'm putting into it. This is a section where I will definitely lean into my negativity bias. Oftentimes it is a lot easier to notice the things that aren't working for us rather than the things that are, but in trying to develop a better planning system or a better setup for my next journal, I want to make sure I'm considering the stuff that kinda sucks. Not so much so I can just sit here and dwell in the negative of it, but more so I want to use that information and make adjustments to make my next setup even better. This is another section where I like to consider the layouts, the practice, and the supplies. What isn't working? What am I not enjoying? What do I want to stop doing or get rid of? Maybe you've been finding that the particular pen and paper combination isn't doing it for you. Maybe there's feathering or bleed through or ghosting or whatever else. Maybe you've been finding that the sticker sets you've been using haven't really been sparking joy. Or possibly the layouts that you've been setting up aren't really suitable for the time of life you're in. It's also good to note here that just because something is currently an aversion doesn't mean it is always going to be an aversion. Maybe there's something you've had in your planner for a really long time that used to work really well for you, and nowadays it feels a little stale, it's kind of not exciting anymore, you don't find yourself coming back to it, checking in with it, or getting the same feelings of joy. It's all good to let go of that moving forward. Maybe that was just suitable for a different time in your life. The most important part here though is to be honest with yourself. If something isn't working, write it down. The next section to fill in though is needs, and this is less about looking back and more about looking forward. In considering the setup for your new planner or journal system, what are the things that you predict are going to be necessary to have? This could be thinking about any events that you have coming up that have particular things you might need to set up for. This could be goals or projects that you want to work on, and having structures related to those things could be really useful. Maybe if you're undertaking a new health goal, you might want trackers or logs in your journal to help hold you accountable. Possibly you're looking to declutter your entire house, and you want to have a list of all of the different spaces you want to declutter from. Here I like to get pretty specific about the needs that I'm going to have, so what particular goals and projects am I going to be working on, and starting to think about what I could put in my journal to assist with those. The needs is also a spot to think about challenges or pain points that you predict are going to be coming up in the future, or at least in the lifespan of your next setup. For instance, if your next journal is going to last you a year, what kind of things, events, plans, projects, and goals do you have coming up in the next year that having something dedicated towards that in your journal would be quite useful? It can definitely be a little bit tricky trying to predict in advance what we're going to need, so what I will also do is go back through my previous journals, especially for the same span of time in the year, and consider the kind of things that come up time and time again, year after year, and what would have been helpful to have in those previous instances. The next part of the want analysis though is T for try. This is where I'll think about the changes that I can make to my next journal setup to kind of help lessen or alleviate the pressures of those challenges and pain points from the aversions and needs. This can also just be a section to outline some things that you want to do just for fun. Maybe you're really curious about having a year-long decorative theme in your journal. Maybe you have a different planner or planning system that you've been curious about. Maybe that's something you want to try. It's good to note that just because you're writing it on the list doesn't mean you have to do it. Oftentimes when I'm going through the want analysis, I'll just reward my brain for having a thought and add it to the list anyway, even if it isn't necessarily going to be part of my final system. We're just getting all of our thoughts out onto paper in a kind of organized way so that we can use the information to make informed decisions. Once I've gone and filled all those sections out though, this is when the real fun starts, because we're going to use all of that information to plan out our next journal or planner. In thinking about the wins, this is the stuff we wanted more of. This is the stuff that was working well. So how can we ensure that those things are still going to be in our next system? When it comes to the aversions though, this is the stuff that sucked. We didn't like it, it didn't work well. So how can we either eliminate it or mitigate it in some way? What kind of adjustments can you make to make it so that those aren't going to be problems moving forward? In thinking about the needs section, this is the stuff that you foresee as being necessary to have in your next setup, or stuff that you're going to want to have structures or practices around your journaling system to assist with. If you foresee that you have some big goals and projects coming up, what kind of layouts can you put into your notebook or planner so that then those are going to be taken care of? For instance, one of the needs that I foresee for myself is that I need my start of journal setup to be easy and simple to fill in throughout the life of my journal. I don't want to have to keep a whole bunch of supplies on hand. I really just want to fill things in with a black pen as I use my notebook. When it comes to the try section though, you might not necessarily want to try every single one of your ideas all at once, but which ones are sparking the most joy or enthusiasm? Which ones are you the most curious about, and how can you build that into your new planner setup? As said at the start, I do the want analysis before every single journal setup just to help me organize my thoughts. And in fact, I also do it before any new monthly setup, and sometimes before even a weekly setup. This type of analysis isn't just limited to a new journal setup. You can apply the same structure to all of the pre-planning you do anytime you need to do any kind of new setup in your journal. While I have just gone and done mine in a scribbly notebook, it can also be helpful to have some guiding questions to go with each of the sections, and the ones we've talked about today are summarized in a free Notion template. That one is completely free, it is linked in the description box below, so be sure to jump over there to access your want analysis template. To see how I fill this one in more so in real time though, this video is the next one to check out. In that one I'm going through each of my journals and pulling out the pieces of information that I used to populate this layout, so click or tap on that one and I'll see you over there.